looking at some of the other stories that have been told, I'm going to need everybody to really put on their like 10-year-old immature hat, because this is one of those stories that it's going to push us a little bit. So here goes. So I'm running down the street, I'm booking back to my house, and I hit that front door doing 90. I turned to my sister and I said, I didn't do it. And I run into my bedroom and I fall to the floor and I shimmy into my bed and I'm hiding under my bed and I'm just waiting. And I'm nervous and I'm hiding. And I hear those 3 knocks, doom, doom, doom. And my sister opens the door and it's the guy and he says, you got brother? And she says, yeah. And he goes, chubby head? And she says, yeah, so? And he goes, so he's been throwing rocks at my house and he just broke my tail light. Now I'm underneath that bed thinking 2 things. 1, chubby head. What's the story about? Second, I'm thinking, I didn't throw rocks, but I didn't break any light. But in the end, my parents believed him, didn't believe me. I'm guilty as charged. And 2 weeks later, they informed me of what, not my punishment, but kind of my coming of age. It's time for me to become from a boy to a young man. They're sending me to summer camp. Yeah, you're getting summer camp story. So 3 months later, they put me in a van and I'm up in Georgia. And this is my first 3 days at camp, my first day. Turns out I'm a bit of more of a mama's boy than I ever thought, and I am homesick. Counselors are doing everything they can to calm me down, and I'm crying, I'm boo-hooing, but I'm hanging tough and I overcome it. So we're on to day 2. I'm feeling good. I've met some friends. I'm joking around with them. You know, we're all kind of getting along. And so I decide, hey, I'm going to drop a yo mama joke. So I drop a yo mama joke. And I drop it on the wrong guy. And that 14-year-old jumps off a bunk bed and he slaps his 10-year-old across the face. And it hurts. And it was hard. And I went outside and I cried. And I was behind the tree and I'm all boo. And the counselor came over and he was like, buddy, how you doing? I said, not good. He hit me. And he goes, yeah, well, you said a joke about his mom. I said, yeah, but he didn't even slap me. And he goes, well, that's the thing about jokes. You never know who's going to take offense to a joke. And, you know, sometimes some jokes are better left unsaid. And I was like, well, still, you know, he's like, you know what, just go in there, apologize, and he'll apologize. You guys just move on. I said, okay. And we did that. And the guy turned out to be okay for slapping me. But I let it go. So day 2, we're going on a hike. We're going to go pick for blackberries. So we go out down this trail and there's all these shrubs of blackberries and we're picking. And we had to team up with another guy and I chose a friend of mine, Raul was his name. He's a little husky kid just like me. And so Raul and I are going down the patch and we're I'm not gonna lie to you, we're eating more blackberries than are going in our basket for cobble later. And we're just looking for the next tasty and the next biggest berry that we could find. And I keep glancing back and I see that we're away from the group, but we're getting further and further away. And then suddenly we find ourselves lost. And so we decide we're gonna hunker down until we're found. No, we didn't. We decided we were gonna sprint. So we started sprinting. And lo and behold, of course, we're sprinting in the wrong direction. And so 6 hours later, they find us sitting on a stump, crying, scared, dehydrated, thirsty, and hungry. All I've been eating is blackberries all day, and I can tell you we've been eating a lot of blackberries. So they get us back to the camp. You know, they're so grateful they had found. We're so happy to be found. Get us back to the camp, and they take us to the cafeteria, and man, I just started eating. You know, I'm all excited. They're treating us like kings because they were worried to death that they lost a camper. So they're just feeding me and feeding me on blah, blah, blah. And then halfway through it, and they're like, we're gonna have a hide and seek contest tonight. I'm like, hide and seek? You know, I've been lost for 6 hours in the woods. Last thing I want to do is go for hide and seek. But I do anyway because the second day at camp, you do not want to be the guy that doesn't do the hide and seek. You're going to look like a wimp. So I go out and I find like the first bush, you know, like not very far away at all. And I'm like, I'm going to hunker down. So I hunker down. I lay down. And then my belly starts getting angry. And it starts grumbling. Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. And the pressure is mounting. And I'm like, I got to go. Then suddenly I hear the horn or the whistle blow. And now the game's begun. So I'm like, I can't move. I got to stay here. So I'm like, oh, the pressure, you know, I got to go. Sorry, guys. I try and release some of that pressure. And I toot. Yeah, no, that was a good thought there. And I toot. And yeah, it worked, you know. I'm like, oh, I kind of feel good, you know. And I'm like, I think I'll go for another. Yeah, that didn't work out too good. Yeah, you've heard of bear shits in the woods? I don't know about if a bear shits in the woods, but Alan does, and he did that moment. And there I am, laying on the ground under a bush during hide and seek with a lot going on. And I'm nervous, and I'm scared, I'm terrified, and I'm regretful, I'm regretting. And so I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do, man? This is second day at camp. What am I gonna do? This is a nightmare. You know, what am I gonna do? Okay, that's it. I gotta get back to the cabin. I gotta shower, gotta change my clothes, and get back in my spot. That's all I gotta do. Problem is, it's a hide and seek, so I gotta make my way back to the cabin, still hiding. So there I am, a lot going on, a lot to eat. I'm tree to tree. Boom, boom. I make it to the back deck, book around to the front, cut through right into the shower. I take off everything. I look down, not to be too disgusted, but I look down, I'm like, well, that wasn't as much as I thought it was gonna be. I think I'm good. You know, so I put it all in a bag and I throw it down into the Foot Locker, and I get back in, and sure enough, I make it all the way to the spot. 20 minutes later, I hear, Alan, and I'm like, yeah, right here. And I hop up, and they're like, everyone's confused. They're like, you were there? And I was like, yeah, right here. And they're like, you're the winner. I ended up winning the hide and seek. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. I get back, I lay my head on the bed, and I'm pillow. I'm like, God, this is almost a nightmare. It turned good though. I'm all right. Next morning, I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm brushing. I start hearing some rumbles on the deck of some kids. And the counselors are like, ooh, ugh. So I go outside and I see these counselors circled around what they're calling bear scat. And I'm like, I don't think that's bear scat. And I decide I need to go to breakfast. I need to get away from here or I'm gonna get busted. You know, I go to breakfast, I'm sitting down, I'm eating, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna get in my locker, they're gonna find the clothes, I'm done, you know? Then there's rumblings around the cafeteria that they're canceling all activities, you know? I'm like, because they think a bear's there. So I'm like, oh my God, they're canceling activities because of me. I gotta fess up. So I get up and I walk over to the counselors and I'm walking to their table. And just before I get there, the camp director comes in and he says, hey, campers, I have an announcement. Good news. What we thought was bear scat turned out not to be bear scat. And you see some people like, oh. And he says, but all activities are on for the day. And everyone cheered. And I was like, phew, I didn't have to. 2 hours later, my butt's on a horse, and we're trotting down the trail. I'm feeling good about everything. And the next 30 days, I gotta tell you, everything went so much better. I learned so much. I made some short but meaningful relationships. And the takeaway from all that is a few things. And the first being, of course, not every joke is funny. Be careful. If you tell the wrong joke, you just might get slapped. And that ended up being the first and only time I've ever been slapped, so lesson learned. Second, horses. I don't need to be on one. They don't want me on them. I'm good. Third, and I think you all hear this coming, but shit happens. That's just the way it goes. You know, and what are you gonna do? Sometimes you gotta lay down for a minute and take it. But then you come up with a plan, you execute that plan to the best of your ability, and you hope that it all's gonna work out, as it did in my case. Then of course there's one final one that I wish I learned before I went, but now I know now, and it's near and dear to my heart. But that important lesson was, never trust the fart.